Hi, this is a group chat app built with Expo. The app is running on two devices, an iPhone and an Android emulator. I'll put the Android emulator in the background and send a message in the general group from the iPhone. Since the emulator is in the background, there is no way to notify the app. No notification shows up. So we're going to add push notifications to this app. This app uses Supabase as the backend. Let's quickly look at the database structure. It has a users table, a groups table, a group members table, and a messages table. I'm going to use Entrig, a push notifications tool built specifically for Supabase that sends push notifications based on database triggers. We can use the React Native SDK for the Expo app as well. Let's get started. I've already signed in, so as a first step, I'll connect Supabase. I'll give access to the organization and select the project. Then I'll add FCM credentials, the service account and the application ID. And then I'll add APNs credentials for both the production and sandbox environments, since we need both for testing during development and for live production. Now I'll complete the setup. The Entrig project is created. Let's integrate it with our app. For that, I'm going to use Agent Skills. With Agent Skills, we can let the coding agent handle the integration. Let's go to the Agent Skills docs. I'll copy the command and open the project in VS Code. Since we've already done Expo pre-build and set up the application ID, and we have the .Claude folder, which is required for adding skills for Claude Code, I'll paste the command in the terminal. I'm selecting the Entrig Expo and Entrig MCP skills, since we're also going to set up the MCP server and create notifications. I'll select Claude Code as the agent and pick the right options. Skills are added. Let's check under the .Claude folder. Now let's start Claude and ask it to integrate the SDK. The model we're using here is Sonnet 4.6. I'll use the / command and type Entrig. It lists all the skills. Let's select Entrig Expo. It checks the project and asks for the Entrig API key. I'll get it from the dashboard settings, copy it, and give it to Claude. It installs the Entrig SDK and checks the package version. Then it updates the env file. Now it sets up the app-level logic. First, it initializes Entrig and adds a listener for notification tap events. Then it registers the device on sign-in and unregisters on sign-out. It runs pre-build. And now it's done. We can now rerun the app. I'll open a new terminal and run it for iOS and Android in another terminal in parallel. It takes a while. The Android build is done. Let's send a test push to verify the SDK is integrated correctly. I'll go to the emulator and log into the app. On sign-in, it asks for notification permission. I'm allowing it. I'll put the app in the background. Then we go to the Entrig dashboard under Test Push. We can see an Android device. Let's add a title and body and send the notification. Test push is sent. Let's check the emulator. We can see the notification pop up. Now let's check the iOS build. It's done. Let's send a test push to the iOS device. I'll log into the app and it asks for notification permission. I'll allow it. I'll put the app in the background to test. Let's go to the dashboard and check if the iOS device is showing under Test Push. Yes, the iOS device is showing. I'll send the push. It's sent. Let's check the notification center on the iPhone. Yes, we can see the test notification. Next, we'll set up the MCP server and create notifications. I'll go to VS Code and add the MCP server using the Entrig MCP skill. It asks to run the command to add the Entrig MCP server. I'll copy and paste it into a new terminal. Now, we'll start a new Claude session and check if the Entrig MCP is connected. I'll type /MCP. It shows Entrig MCP with 8 tools. Let's create the first notification. We want to send a notification to group owners when anyone joins a group. It calls the Entrig tool getContext and drafts the notification with a title and body. I'll proceed with it. It calls the Entrig tool again to create the notification. I'll allow it. It creates the notification and also updates the app navigation to handle what happens when the notification is tapped. It handles navigation using the notification type. Now, let's check the dashboard. The first notification is showing. Let's test it. I'll open the app on both devices and create a new group from iOS. The new group is created. I'll put the iOS app in the background. Now refreshing on Android, the new group is in the list. I'll join the group Expo project. Joined. And we can see the notification arrive on the iPhone. I'm tapping on it. It goes directly to the chat screen. The first notification is working correctly. Let's create the second notification, this time to notify all group members when anyone sends a message to a group. It calls the Entrig tool and drafts the notification. It also figures out to exclude the sender. I'll proceed with it. It calls the tool again to create the notification. It created the notification and also updates the on-tap navigation. We'll go to the dashboard and refresh. Now we can see the second notification for the messages table on the insert event. Let's test. This time, we'll put the Android app in the background and send a message in the group from the iPhone. The notification pops up on the Android emulator. Let's tap it. It takes us to the relevant chat screen. That's it. We've added 2 notifications to the group chat app using Claude Code. Agent skills and the MCP server made adding push notifications to an app easier than ever.